Nothing didn't give a fuck about you. Your mama, I'm really it. And then I bring you right back. And because we started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now my whole team here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team. No new friend, gonna leave me. Look at fake friend when you real friend. I ain't gotta do too much explaining. Nothing from the lane. No new friend. Look at fake when you real friend. I ain't gotta do too much explaining. Cause we started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team. Yeah, started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. Then started from the bottom, now we here. Okay, hey boo, hey. So this is our first time being on video together in like maybe 7 to 8 months. So much has happened since then. We left London, two little black girls. We came to West Africa, and yeah, like we just been kicking on the motherland pretty much ever since. Met some new people, made some new friendships, started new relationships, and traveled a lot, learned a lot about self and about others, about the culture. So the question is like, for you, or you want me to go first, like what have you learned about yourself since being on the motherland?
Go first.
Okay. So for me, what I've learned about myself is like how really, how really centered in my spirituality I am. There have been lots of times where I have felt like if I were not here in Mother Africa, that my responses to certain situations wouldn't be possible, only because of the energy and the peace that I felt being here. Like my spirit and my soul feel very nurtured, very supported, very relaxed, very feminine, and I've been able to sit in that femininity and just be. So I've learned a lot about myself in that way. I've also learned how to have patience too, with people. Some of my biggest challenges have been interacting with people who are still like coming out of that Western patriarchal society and still dealing with pieces of that and remnants of that. And I've had to learn like how to slow down and how to just be patient. How to remember that we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different cultures and different places in the earth, and yet we're all here now together. So somehow we all found each other. And so I have to hold that at a higher level of value than I do whatever small things that they may be dealing with and presenting to me, at any given time. So those are two things that I would say I've learned about myself. What about you?
For me, I have definitely learned that a lot of the answers, not answers to questions, but a lot of the things that I wondered, I had already had the answer to in this months long process. I feel like people ask me a lot of questions and I answered just with my intuition, and I found out that the answer was more wise than I actually knew it could be. So I was very impressed with myself for that at the very least. And then So that's one thing that I've learned. Number two, somebody told me something, like back in early May, and they were like, "You need to be humble." And I feel like we kept talking about this. You kept talking about this like not that long ago, but even in that conversation, I was like, "Be humble about what?" Like our whole experience, the whole from us stepping foot into Africa, like it's been it's been something that you can't really be humble about. And so even
What do you mean?
like the reason why we're here, the whole children of Israel, like all of this, the return of it, the age of Aquarius, all of it, like there's not there, and this time I feel like there's nothing to be humble about really. Like the way things are going right now, it's gonna. I hope for me, and I hope for other people too, that it has only the most beautiful positive impacts on my life. But I feel like it already will. I feel like it already has. I feel like it already does. So yeah.
So what have you learned about yourself? You started talking and then you really haven't.
Are you talking about the second one or the first
The
one?
second one.
The second one? I don't have to be humble.
Okay. Is that true? Is that a fact? Can we test it in court?
Do I have to be humble?
Well, humility was one of the lessons that you had in interacting with the mother.
But do I have to be humble? Because I feel like in the case of you, it's different from the outside world.
But it's still something that you're learning about yourself. Even the situations that happened in Senegal, it's like there was some more humility and humbleness than.
I wasn't gonna sit down and be humble in that situation because what am I gonna be humble for?
If you have been, then things would have looked very different.
But they didn't.
Because
I can't cry myself a river though.
You were not humble. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no.
Humility is a lesson in and of itself because there are things that you have access to in humility that you may or may not have access to without it. So that's what we're speaking about, learning about self. What have you learned about Keturah? That humility is a struggle? That you don't value humility?
Because humbleness for what? In this particular situation, in that particular situation in Senegal, humbleness for what? For what? I didn't ask for anything that was unheard of, uncalled for, not reasonable.
This video was going out.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I wrote.
Yeah. So, yeah, in a situation where you're working for someone, then yeah, being humble is better than not being humble.
Okay, you're right. This much is true. But when I look at me and in a general sense, when I look at what's going on in 2021, like humbleness for what? Alright, don't listen to me. You always do this. I don't understand.
What else have you learned about yourself?
I'm not sure. I don't know off the top of my head.
What's something you've learned about me?
About you? All this time I thought you were crazy. You were on the right steps, on the right path, always.
You thought I was crazy.
Definitely.
Define crazy. Like, what does that even mean?
Like, I don't know, just the things that you would be doing. Like, it wasn't crazy, but it was like, no. Who else's mom is out here doing this shit? Like, I don't understand.
You mean like leaving and going to Africa? Crazy?
Like, even before that, like your ceremonies. Who else's mom is going to
Lots.
like that?
Yeah. The thing is, what else is crazy?
When we look at me in my school,
what else? What else?
It's crazy though.
No, what else?
Oh, what else? Even the concept of the sacred woman at the time, like it was crazy to me. I keep bringing it up because it's on my mind. It's been on my mind a lot.
Clearly,
yeah.
Talking about sacred woman for a minute, like
it's been on my mind.
Maybe you need to message Queen Afua.
Or maybe I just need to get the book.
Yeah, maybe.
Who else?
So the concept of sacred women, doing spiritual ceremonies, what else?
Just everything that led up to the journey of you being here.
You thought I was crazy.
On the outside, it could look a little crazy.
I'm asking if you thought I was crazy.
On the outside.
You thought I was crazy on the outside.
On the outside.
You thought I was crazy on the outside.
I didn't think you were crazy. That's my honest opinion. Because I know you. I know you. And I did rights. So it's like none of this is really new to me at all. But like it was kind of crazy that all of it led up to this. You never would have thought.
I knew.
Oh.
I don't know why you putting up your hand in my face.
Sorry.
Be humble. Sit down.
Sorry.
Sit down. Be humble. Anyhow, so one thing I learned about you is that you definitely have stepped outside of your comfort and preparedness zones. Like, you've really done more than you were even capable of or even prepared for, Like, you went in with heart at the very least. You went in with heart. You were like, I'm going to do it. And even if you weren't prepared or had no idea what you were doing, you still gave it your best shot. So,
thanks, Mom.
Yeah, something I learned about you. Like, oh, this one's going to go out there and she going to do some shit. You're going to make some shake.
Shake some trees.
Okay, in the name of her dreams and her hopes and her whatever, like, you chase the dream. You did what was in your heart. So that's something that I learned about you. Some really great things about being in Gambia is, for me, the pace. Like, just being able to slow down. I don't even know how it's possible, but I've actually been feeling stress rising. I think it's just because I haven't been getting massaged properly or sleeping properly. Like, my body's really soft.
It's time for us to leave.
Yeah, it's time for us to go.
No, like, it's time for us to get out of Gambia.
Yeah, it's time for me to go. It's time for you to go too?
Yes.
Okay.
I have been in the house for the past 3 weeks. I'm a party girl. I used to be out.
Are you a party
weekend.
girl?
I was.
I mean, you were partying, but are you a party girl?
I am a party girl.
She's a party girl who doesn't party. She's a party girl who, when she says I'm going out, ends up saying, now I'm staying in.
Absolutely not. In
That's
Gambia,
what you did the other day. You said you were gonna go out and then you ended up staying.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I think I'm going out tonight. Yeah, okay, you're gonna go out to this bed and go to sleep.
Nah, listen. I definitely no. Okay, I told you these past 3-4 weeks I have not gone out. 3-4 weeks. I don't know. It's time for me to go. I got a new scene, please. New scene, me.
Okay. Well, that's it. So glad we were able to do something. Something's better than nothing. So, Keturah and Jamila, and
Bye, Keturah.
I'm Jamila. This is Keturah.
Keturah.
Yeah. So bye.